Esoteric Ebb is a text-heavy RPG set in a D&D-style world, and there's no voice acting, so get ready to read. A lot. In this world, your core D&D stats define how you interact with everything. You can increase them by leveling up, and you can also modify them with your gear. Over time you gain different spells that you can use in dialogue or in combat, and everything revolves around dice rolls and skill checks, so it really leans into that tabletop feel. And before you jump in, quick tip about character creation. Don't overthink your build. Even though stats matter, the game isn't that difficult, and you can finish it with pretty much any setup. So instead of min-maxing, just pick what feels fun. You're not gonna lock yourself out of anything important. But where the game really stands out is the writing. The best part is definitely the character interactions. The dialogue is generally fun to go through, and the characters are interesting enough to keep you engaged. And on top of that, the comedy really lands. I found myself laughing out loud multiple times, even early on. When it focuses on characters, it's engaging and funny. But once it leans heavily into politics, that's where it really starts to lose me. You're investigating the tea shop explosion with multiple ways to approach it. But the world is very political, and you spend a lot of time talking to NPCs about factions, opinions, and elections. It just gets repetitive. A lot of these conversations start to feel the same, and the writing there just isn't strong enough to carry it. And this is where the comparison becomes unavoidable. Now, let's get back to what I said at the start. This game really wants to be Disco Elysium. Your stats talk to you, you have internal dialogue, and the whole game is built around conversations. The inspiration is very obvious. But here's the thing, Disco Elysium is a masterpiece. Its writing, world building, and storytelling are on another level. Esoteric Ebb tries to reach that, but it falls short, especially in its political writing. Now, to be fair, I played Disco pretty recently, so that comparison was always there for me. So if you never played it, you might enjoy this game a lot more than I did. And don't get me wrong, Esoteric Ebb is really fun in its own way. It just falls short if you compare it to Disco Elysium. Now, putting that aside, let's talk about 100% completion, because this is where things get frustrating. The game doesn't really support a blind 100% run, so I'd recommend 2 playthroughs. One blind for fun and one for cleanup. There are achievements tied to political factions, and you need to commit to each one multiple times in a single run, but you can't just repeat dialogue options and farm progress, which completely breaks immersion. And then there's the worst part. You need to roll double natural 1 and double natural 20. That's a 1 in 400 chance. So if you don't get it natural, you're just reloading the same interactions over and over again just to get that achievement. And adding insult to injury, I rolled a double nat 1 during a death save, but that didn't count. So I guess it needs to be a skill check, which is not defined in the achievement itself. So, if you're going for 100%, try to get advantage on rolls as early as possible, which is around day 2, if you know what you're doing. So yeah. Overall, where does that leave a game? Esoteric Ebb is a good game, but not a great one. If you enjoy reading heavy RPGs, strong character interactions, and a good comedy, you'll have a really good time here. But if you're expecting a deep story or lore, or even plan to 100% everything, you might end up frustrated. I definitely recommend playing it, as long as you don't expect Disco Elysium here, and don't stress yourself with 100% achievements. And that's my experience with it. Do you share my thoughts about the game? Or was it different for you? Let me know in the comments and consider subscribing. So I'm signing off.